3. You know what happens next. We start the presentation and I tell you what's going on in the markets and what I've done so far that day. So without further ado, this is 3 at 3 for August 18th, 2020. The disclaimer is that this is for informational and educational purposes only. If you're looking for something other than that, you need to look somewhere else, because that is the purpose of this broadcast. It is not for me to tell you what to do, tell you what I am doing, and to perhaps advise or at least offer my opinion on what are prudent courses of action. But I don't know all of your financial situations, so you have to decide if these investments are appropriate for you. Just getting one more trade in here. Bang. All right. I'll take that. Now, let's get started with the intellectual property rights, which says that you need to understand that we have registered marks, trademarks, and patents on what you're about to see. Please ask us if you'd like to use it. There's my buddy Scott. We talked about net yesterday, and the option activity was extremely strong. And I told many of you that I was buying the 39s and selling those 42s to put myself in a call vertical spread differential between those strikes, $3. 39, 40, 41, 42, $3. So still in those, and we continue to see nice action in this one. And I got people calling trying to get a hold of me here. If you'd like to learn more about what we do and how we do it, you can go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. You can learn all about what we do as far as cryptocurrencies, options, futures, and stocks, because we can teach you about all 4 of those disciplines. They are somewhat related, but they are each different, and you need to understand how volatility impacts each one of those when you're trading them and how you can mitigate your losses and let your winners run. We can show you that. I've been doing it for 38 years. All right, let's start with Workhorse, because the stock was 16.05 during the halftime report today, as we were seeing unusual activity in Workhorse. As you see, August 1550 calls bought for, let's say, 70 cents. Does that seem like around in the middle, maybe on the upper end? That's about what I paid, 70 cents for these calls. That gives you the right to control the stock at 1550 from now till Friday. So, deep end of the pool. This is a rapid time decay situation. T, theta, time decay. So, as you can see, if the right to buy it at 1550 with the stock at 1605 would mean they were worth 55 cents, double nickel at that moment. How do I know that? Because you guys can do the math. If you have something that's, you have the right to take it at 1550 and it's trading at 1605, 55 cents is what it's worth intrinsically in the money. So I own these for 70 cents. How is that trade working out so far? Well, there you see, popped all the way through 17 when we mentioned it on the halftime report. And look at that spike, folks. This was, call it 1520 going back a week. Just putzing along, making it towards 16, falling back down to 15 and so forth for the last week. This looks like a breakout. It's a 6.5% upside move. Right now it's worth 1660, which means these calls are worth not 55 cents double nickel, but what's the right to buy it at 1550 worth when the stock's trading 1662? It's worth at least $1, right? Because that would make it 1650, and then 12 cents more. So it's worth $1.12 intrinsically. Because if I could buy it for less than that, I would buy all you'd sell me and sell the stock and lock in pennies each time I did it. I'm not really in this game to make pennies, but that's what would happen with the pros that are trading high frequency, folks. So what I'm looking for here is that this one hasn't quite fully doubled yet, but it's moving up in our favor, and I'm letting a little bit go as it spiked there to over $17.20 earlier today, which would have made those worth $1.70 versus my 70-cent entry. Bang! All right, second of our 3 at 3 right now, coming at you. VST. VST, which delivers energy and so forth. Take a look at this one. Bullish call buying here as well. The stock was $19.46 just a couple hours into trading today. These are Chicago times. So $19.46, they bought 1.3 million share equivalent. How do I know? Because 13,500 is 1.35 million share equivalent. Every option is for 100 shares of stock. So they were buying the September 21 calls with the stock below 20, which meant that the stock has to move $1.50 for these to go in the money. But we all know that with a month to trade, a sharp move to the upside would cause these calls to jump. And they would jump easily from the 25 to 50 cent level where people were buying them to perhaps 75 cents or $1 without it even getting to 21. So I own these calls. There you see not 13,500 but 21 strike calls trade 52,000 contracts. 52,000. That's a big one, folks. That's 5.2 million share equivalent. You see on your screen 51,008. That's 518 million shares. There are now over 52,000 of these changing hands. A lot of you Robin Hoodsters and others just pouring into this one. And VST, that's a lot. I mean, look at the open interest there, folks. The column that the arrow is kind of covering is my open interest column on the heat seeker. And when you look there, you're seeing 281 contracts, 101 contracts, 289 contracts, and so forth. So this is a really big trade from a serious trader, the 13,500. And then the rest of these that went also pretty big. Enjoy the walk back. And here's Vista Corp as it traded through 20, moving towards 21 today. Bang, a 4% rally. And there it was at 1946, and it went $1 higher than that after we mentioned it. Let's hit the final of our 3 at 3 right now. And that final trade is LYFT, which is indeed lifting right now. LYFT, LYFT, stock was $27.45. When I got on air, it was just hovering over $27.10, I think, when I got on air to talk about this one. But they bought 6,000. Dexter's going out for his walk. They bought over 6,000 of these August 28 calls. These calls expire in 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're gone. So the 28 strike calls that expire on the 21st of August. These calls trading for, let's call it 45 cents, because that's where I'm in, 45 cents. Watch this one closely. You can see that they were also in here trading puts, which they were selling, and selling upside calls as well to cut the amount of exposure they have to time decay and volatility compression. Time decay is theta, volatility compression is vega. There is LYFT, as you see, some ugly selling there, and a lot of that coming because Prop 22 out in California and what happened last week when California said, you know what, these drivers are your employees. And Uber and Lyft said, I don't think so. By the way, Lyft gets over 20% of their revenue from California, Uber only 10%. So we'll have to see exactly, are they bluffing or are they thinking about really shutting down temporarily in California? Gavin Newsom playing chicken with two of the biggest companies that are in the gig economy. Bang. All right, folks, I am John Najarian. You want to learn more about trading? Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. If you're already into trading and you want to know more about what we do as far as how we see unusual option activity, if you're up for checking out 15 to 20 different trades a day, all different sectors, go to marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. If that's too much for you, you can go to marketrebellion.com, and we have one trade per day. We also have one trade per week, if that's what you'd prefer. And Pete has a bunch of great stuff like the cash flow portfolio, easy for him to say, and TNT Pro and a bunch of our other services. We've got services for just about any style investor and just about any pocketbook. So if you're new to trading, if you're a Robin Hoodster and you really want to sharpen your game, get better at it, and make some serious coin, check out marketrebellion.com. And for those of you actively trading, check out marketrebellion.com/UOA. Thank you for joining me today, folks. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I've got a great interview coming up with Manny, a friend of mine, who's going to blow you away on the podcast this week. We're going to tape that tomorrow. Bang!